Okay, so I'm live, which is great. You don't need a seance to see the show. Hey, hey. Okay. And you don't need to be a medium. You could be an extra large or a small. It doesn't. Okay, yeah. We're kind of silly around here. I am the ocean. This is my show. The ocean's deep woo, and for a very good reason. We do the deepest of woo here. We talk about things that are very deep and sometimes things that are also very frivolous and light. As a matter of fact, sometimes we speak light language here. We do all kinds of weird things. We do real magic. We believe that people can develop superpowers. We believe all kinds of interesting things because that's how life has handed it to us, okay? Life has borne this stuff out to me. I have seen so much strange stuff firsthand. Come on, folks, get with the program. I'm going to give you a minute to realize that the show is live. And there's Indie Groove. Yeah, Scotty was in here. He says, I'll be back. He said it with a Schwarzenegger accent. I don't know how he did that because he was just chatting. But Indie Groove is your daddy. I thought I smelled some interesting smoke just before you showed up. Uh, so, yeah, I'm going to give people a chance to see that I'm on. I'm going to go ahead and grab a drink, put on the intro, and be right back. At least I hope so. I hope I'm going to do that. Come on, you can do it. Yes, it's Mr. Wonderful in training, still in training. Yep. He's won the lounging championship and now he's going for snoozing, the snoozing gold. And there he is. As you can see, he's going to win it this year. Whoops, but I'm going to wake him up a minute to rub his belly. There you go. He's he's not even hardly waking up. Look at that. Wow, that's really good, sir. I gotta say, you got technique there. Getting your belly rubbed and not even opening your eyes. That's technique. You are going to get the gold this time, Mr. Kitty Cake. Yes, you are, little cowboy. World champion snoozer. Anyway, okay, so there's my little cowboy. Hey, Tintin, Rin Tintin. Hello. I guess I had a hello earlier. I had a halo last time. I had a halo. Yeah. I had a halo last time. Yeah, 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 yeah. I, I don't know where that. Oh, there it is again. Look, it's back. Up. Did you see that? Wow. Yeah, it kind of comes and goes, and then it gets very pink. It alternates between very pink and very white. It's really interesting. Jael, you mean hi, so that J is kind of like pronounced like an H. Hello, Daddy. Well, hello, Daddy. You're in bed with your furries. Uh, yeah. So I got my little cowboy right here. He's keeping me company, snoozing. Almost, he's pretending. I think he's pretending to snooze because he rolled his little belly up just enough to be rubbed. So but he never bothered to open his eyes. So he's not. He's just working too hard on that snoozing championship. He's saying, "Mom, that's very distracting, but I got excellence here. I got excellence to live up to. I mean, there are standards, you know." So, yep, there's that light that's flying around the room again. Hi, Barry. How you doing? Oh, your dog passed away. I'm so sorry to hear that. I know that that's a huge thing for you. Sorry to hear that. And oh, here I am yawning. Why am I yawning? I must need more air. Hang on. Is Scotty back? Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, Scotty says he's down for the cowboy, the cowboy pose. He's down for that for the belly rubs. Okay, that's good. Oh, so I posted this just before coming on. I saw it. I had to post it because it was just too synchronous. Just too synchronous. But if you look on our community tab, and it won't, I don't still have the link. But if you look on our community tab, I posted a video that somebody found where Oprah has that same kind of beam of light hitting her. She's all in a white outfit. She's speaking to a crowd of people, standing speaking to a crowd of people. She has that white light hitting her. And right after that, she trips and falls right on her face. She face plants. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Okay, you guys got to see that. The same kind of thing that's been happening to me. Here I am, I'm doing light language, I'm seeing visions, I'm talking to interdimensionals and galactic entity, beings, and Oprah trips and falls when it hits her. It's like, whoa, something is going on here, and I had to see that. It's like, see, you got a whole different reality. When the light hits you, how is it going to affect you? Interesting, huh? How's it going to affect you? There it is again. See, it's all over me. And apparently it loves me. Yeah. Huh. My goodness. Hey, Witch Moon. Who's Floyd? Oh. Oh gosh. Yeah. So I'm like, because I've been thinking so heavily about these lights that keep hitting me. And then when I look with my third eye, it's a beam of light coming from somewhere distant in the universe. And I guess that can happen because time and space don't exist the way we think they do. Yeah, the same one that's hitting me right now. And you see in that video how it hits her, and she just kind of turns and falls right on the ground. And I'm like, wow, wow, something. That light, when it hits you, you want to be you want to be on the up and up. You want to be in love, and you want to be acting, you want to be straight up with people, because otherwise I think that light is going to trip you up. I mean, you guys, if there's, you know, some kind of discussion, like this is open discussion, man, that is one of my subjects. I want y'all to weigh in on that. I want you to see that and weigh in on that, because honestly, uh, that's so synchronous with what's going on with me. So does that mean that we're going to see a lot more of this light hitting people while we're streaming, while we're broadcasting, while we're speaking to people? Is that what we're going to see? And exactly, I'm asking him to explain to me exactly what's going on uh, with that. And as soon as I get some kind of a report on that, some kind of insight, I am having some very odd insights. I'm not sure I'm ready to voice them exactly yet. Um, I might when everybody comes in, but maybe if I am called to do so. But there are some very interesting visions that I've been having since then. And as some of you know, I have to be careful. The next day, I was still pretty ungrounded. I was ungrounded and had kind of run in with the knife drawer, where fortunately I didn't do. Probably some people would go in and get stitches. There it is. Trigger warning if you don't like wounds or blood. Some people would probably get stitches, but instead, of course, there's my cure-all is duct tape, you know, and silver cream and peroxide. But it could be, yeah. After doing all that and going out to way out somewhere, I guess the next day I wasn't really grounded and got hurt because I wasn't careful enough. And I've had this happen before. You know, you forget you're still 3D, you know, you got a body and you're trying to, you know, sometimes you forget and you kind of bash into a door frame because you forget you can't just pass through it, you know, you forget. Mm, yeah. It was all the way, it goes all the way across my finger, and it's kind of deep actually. But so I'm lucky. It was a great big knife, though. That got me because we found the blood on it. It was kind of a big knife, so I'm lucky that that's all that happened. That it didn't hit anything else except my middle finger. Now I can give people the finger and show off my scar at the same time. See, don't upset me, man. It's kind of deep, actually. Ah, that's so deep. Yeah, I know. We don't float. Dolly is a cutter. Well, cut her that out. Don't hurt yourself. Cut that little child part of me and such a part of you. Oh, oh, it is burned. I'm sure not. Yeah, and I used to have some of that and I couldn't find it. So, but I took the bandage off and I figured it needs light, it needs air. I'm going to give it some light and air. Just kind of be careful with it. But it is a little puffy and red. I'm going to have to wash it out with peroxide again. And I think I'll put some more silver cream on it this very moment as I'm thinking about it. So we don't have to worry about infection. Then I got a burn on the same hand. Yeah, you know what though, honestly, I'm gonna tell you. When that light hits you, you better be sitting down. If you get hit, you get this light on it, you better be sitting down. Do you want to talk about that? Okay, well, you start. I can't tell you much about it. Ah, I guess, Scotty, the answer to your question might be just slightly less important than five skin. I don't know. And maybe a little more important than three skin. Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, it'll be okay. It's gonna be fine, honestly. I might soak it in a little Epsom salt. It's a little swollen. I'll soak it in Epsom salt. It'll be fine. Yeah. You're, Scotty, you're pissed off about the subject. I'm sorry at your loss, Barry. I'm sorry that that Sped has passed on, but that means that another one is coming to you. Hey, Angel Wings, how you doing? Well, Scotty, I don't know. You could Knowing you, you'd probably want hands-on healing, right? Yeah, I'm betting you'd want hands-on healing. I know you. Is it getting really cold up there, Barry? Oh, there you go. Mark has the answer. You go through the Arch of Vault. What? The Arch of Vault. Doesn't sound like something I'd really want to do. The little man in the boat. Okay, yeah, it's getting weird in here. This is what happens when I say open discussion. It's open discussion. We're talking about what the audience wants to talk about. Yeah, you don't want to lose winter. That's right. Well, it's sad, but at least you do have winter. I mean, that'll help. Because when I lost little Kangi, it was a good thing I had Maui. When Maui passed, it sure was an empty place. But that means that changes are coming. I think changes are coming for you, Barry. Let's ask Justin. Okay. See, I'm not Scotty, I'm not a foreskin expert. I know this comes as a big shock to some of you, but I'm not an expert on that subject. I never had one in this body anyway. Um, Usually when you have an animal die like that, it means it's something's coming, something is changing. I don't know why. Hey, Big Justin. Howdy, y'all. Oh, God. Okay. So, yes. Uh, if I could do the little green throw up emoji, I would do it right now. There are big changes coming to all of us. But as he is your outside dog, yeah, there were big changes coming to me when mine. It's like losing a pet. It's just kind of seems to be a sign that some changes are coming. Maybe where you live, or maybe changing where you live, or changes to where you live. She's a social girl. Oh, that's good. Well, Big Justin, I I guess in the weather that we're having right now, uh, it wouldn't be for nothing. Be because you're freezing. Probably be kind of blue. Um, oh, Justin, do I have to tell you about the birds and the bees? which has absolutely nothing to do with mammals. Are you planning on lactating just so that you can, just, if you're on hormones or something? Well, what you do is certainly up to you. Of course, for me, all that laden with the wrong hormones would not exactly be my idea of a great cocktail. You know what? You should be able to ask for it, shouldn't you? And you should, yeah, it's your body part. You should be able to ask for all your body parts back. I remember years ago there was a story about this surgeon who had a son who liked to eat the adenoids that were extracted from patients. And he would bring them home to his son, and his son would eat them. This was actually in the mainstream news. His son would eat the body parts that were extracted during a surgery. He liked tonsils and adenoids. And I'm like, uh, that's cannibalism. And I mean, that's somebody else's body part. And, shouldn't that person like have some sort of say what happens to it after you take it? I mean, weird. He's got to do something with that. He's got to do something with that rooster that keeps running away. I guess you just got to find him a good hen to keep him around the house. Oh my goodness. Musoni. You might ride to Musoni. I don't know where that is, Barry. Is that somewhere in Alaska? Is that a place in Alaska? Yeah, Dolly, it seems to me like we should have some say over the stuff they take out of us. There are body parts. I never thought of that too much. I guess maybe I have once in a while, but never, you know, discussed it with anybody. Like, what happens to the body parts and where, and, can you just ask for them back? Like, I mean, like from the dentist usually gives you your tooth back if you ask. You do, Scotty. Well, that's good. Like I said, this is what happens when I open discussion. It's a little scary. Yeah, the donated blood goes at a really good price. Why don't we get that? They give you just a little bit of money, but Yeah, they are charging hefty prices for blood. I wouldn't be donating my blood. I'm sorry, I'm not donating my blood. I'm not donating my organs. Not until things get much better, much more resolved than they are now. As it is right now with the medical industry, it's like hell no. I'm not donating anything. No. It's too shady. Very shady. They're very shady right now. What, the counting countess? You say you get paid more at the sperm bank, Scotty, than at the blood bank? Seriously, well, I guess that's a little cottage industry for you then, Scotty. Oh, we're in that month. We're in blood drive month. Ugh. Well, Dolly, what do they do? Basically, oh, you're a preferred customer, Scotty. Hmm. I know that they sell certain kinds of blood are worth more than others, and they sell it at a far higher price than they give to people for donating it. So they pretty much scalp poor people who are donating blood because they need money, and which is sick. I, I do not trust the Red Cross. I do not trust. I'm sorry. Just don't trust the medical establishment right now. I just don't trust them. I wish I could. There you go, Dolly. I feel disadvantaged. Wow, Barry. Maybe they will. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, well, I'm guessing, Dolly. Yeah, I've heard of it. You can have Okay. I told you. I was honest about this that in my long sojourn on this planet, I met all different types. And there are like a subset of people. Obviously, this is kind of underground. This is very underground that are blood drinkers, and um, they call themselves vampires. They drink blood. They will have sometimes they will form a partnership with somebody who is willing to be their quote unquote donor, and then they'll extract it usually in a um, sterile way, but not always. But yes, there are people who are blood drinkers, as we know. I mean, there's um, no mistake about that. That they exist. I know they do. I've met them. Well, and I mean, if that is what they choose to do, um, and both parties are okay with it. That is their choice and right, I guess, to do what they want with their own bodily fluids. Hmm. So, oh, really? And where do you keep the bicycle pump, Scotty? He says underground is where he stores his girlfriend. Oh no, I misread that. His girl fiend. Okay. Well, I guess if she's a girl fiend, that may be different. What, Lewis? Wait, what? Who? What? Okay, wait. First, we have a beam of white light that trips Oprah, makes her fall on the ground. Then we have Scotty's questions about 3, 4, and 5 skins. And then we have people drinking, where do um where do the organs from operations go? What happens to them? What happens to the blood? This is really a getting to be a dark show. What the hell happened to and the light, the little beam of light is still here, the beam or big beam of light. It's still here though. Oh my gosh, now we're talking at where did you see this? Eating an apple? What, Lewis, was this a you gotta explain more than that. Holy cow. Maybe, maybe some of them. They may have some technologies, but you know what I'm gonna tell you? I don't think they would be able to have the technology that would actually be able to change people completely, but maybe they've got it. I don't know. I don't know. They have advanced technologies that we don't actually have in the public right now. Oh, it was a dream, Lewis. God, you just about had me. I'm like, what the heck? Who the heck would have the presence of mind to get that on a flip phone because or something, I can see some Florida man out there or something, or maybe an Ohio man. I mean, Ohio man could be a close runner up for that, but taking a video of that, geez, but it's a dream. Wow, that's a hardcore dream, my friend. Um, well, you're offended. There it is again. There it is, the cut on my finger. Now you can be twice as offended. And this one's got a blister on it. You know what it's from? Flipping you guys off too many times. And the light's still shining on me. So I guess it doesn't mind that we're getting funny. Yeah, I guess, Lewis. 10-foot tall black fur Bigfoot ran past you in the dream after eating an apple and killing a youngster. Gosh, I that's pretty dark. I don't know what it is, Lewis. I don't know what exactly the dream means, but um, yeah, I just overuse it. Is the problem. No, it's called a gelatinous cyst. I got to get it removed, but I'm just really lagging behind. I don't want to go to a surgeon. I know I'm gonna have to get it off probably with a surgeon. I don't want to go to a surgeon. Uh, so you got an exit only sign on your underwear, right? Okay, well, good for you. Sometimes it goes a little dark. Well, I'm not afraid of the dark. Like I said, I've been through the dark. In fact, some of us, what we're doing here, part of our part of why we are here is to be able to dive to the heart of darkness and come back up into the light. And that's what I did. I met a lot of very underground characters. And there were times when things looked pretty dark. And yet, I could never, I never was what you would call evil. But it was almost like a test. Can you accept that this exists, that all this exists, and still realize that they're also people, and actually part of why some of these people are into some very extreme things is because of their past lives where they had things happen to them and they're trying to heal themselves. I saw a video about this and never talked about it, but saw a video about this. A lot of these things that are very odd, that we think of as very odd, that turn people on in a very weird way, they're trying to work out their traumas. You know, a lot of them, I guess, when they get regressed, they have a lot of past lives that relate exactly to what they find erotic. So this is like the last road I expected this stream to go down tonight, but hey, this is certainly not the path I had envisioned for tonight. But if that's the path you want to go and talk about, we'll talk about it. Mm. So basically, like I said, I got to know the light and the dark. That's part of our journey here. And I think really all of the shaman have got to know the light and the dark. We've got to know what the polarities are. You can't be all light. You can't be all dark, or it's totally unbalanced. I don't know what the all dark ones are like, but I do know that there are a lot of people who are caught in the middle and there are a lot of very confused people, and then there are a lot of people who know exactly what they're doing. Uh, Yeah. If they're all dark ones, then they're all light ones. Hmm. Yeah. But see, shaman's more of a balancing act. A shaman path is balancing act. So you kind of got to know what both are like, and it's true. And actually, what we're doing here on this earth, on this planet, like I told you, I guess our destiny is to harmonize the polarities. And if that's true, if we don't know what the polarities are, we can't do that. We have to take into account the highest and the lowest. We have to take into account the dark and the light. We have to take into account the balance. And this is why, it's like I actually get kind of fed up with people who are too goody two shoes, don't we all? Or consequently, also people who are too dark. They're both offensive, really, aren't they? If you think about it, nobody likes either one of them too much. So, the whole idea, or I guess the prophecy about Earth has to do with one day a species will arise that is composed of the lowest vibration and the highest vibration. And somehow we harmonize those frequencies and bring peace to the universe with that. And apparently, the people of this planet, Earth, is that species, which is why we're important, way more important than we know. Yeah. Yeah, well, your body is like an avatar. I mean, it's a good thing. You should respect your body. I mean, it's got an awareness of its own. My body will tell me when it wants something, when it needs something. If I listen, then I feel stronger. It gets stronger. And yet I have so much junk in my head from what I've learned, what we've all learned about nutrition and blah blah blah, that it's probably not the best. I mean, I probably still, let's just say I'm trying to listen better. But what it seems to want is stuff that is very high in nitric oxide, or the things that support nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is pretty much uh, the fountain of youth. So, well, you know, in order to access this plane, you need a body. And the better shape your body is in, the healthier it is, the more comfortable you are when you're using it. Uh, we're not here to cater to the body, Scotty, but we're not here to not either do that. I mean, you can't be all spirit and still be here. Okay. You can be all spirit after, but you can't be nothing but spirit. You've got to deal with your body while you're here. Um, actually, I have said this before, it's sort of like it's like our avatar. It's like that picture of us. It's like if we go into a video game and we have an avatar. It's the same thing. Yeah. Tell that to the Vamps. Which thing am I telling to the Vamps? Mhm. Well, but they still have, our bodies still have a kind of an awareness built in, I find. And they'll let you know what they need to keep running properly. Kind of like a car that says, you know, your oil is low. I mean, they tell us when they're hungry, they tell us when they need to evacuate some stuff. And if you listen, it will also tell you what would be good for you to ingest to help it out. Who says what, Scotty? Well, I really think that the vampires have a lot to do with the other species bloodlines, and possibly even might be a reptilian thing. Um, uh, boy, I guess one day I'll have to do a show on what I've learned about vampires. But it's kind of a scary subject. I really related to it for a while, though. I'll be honest about it. I related to that. When when I cut my finger, I didn't have anything to stop the blood. I put it right in my mouth. I'm pretty tasty, by the way. I'm pretty tasty. But just to keep from bleeding all over the place. It's like, I didn't want to turn everything, bloody. And went into the bathroom and searching for, and held it over the sink while I'm searching for something to wrap it with, and getting out the cotton pads and holding it on there and until it stopped bleeding. But it got cleaned up pretty well. Well, yeah, and the funny thing is, um, the people who are, I was a goth chick. I think I was kind of a morbid chick because, first of all, I didn't like being here. I know my parents, I mean, my mother had a big influence on this, and she had a kind of a hidden thing going on in her head. Um, yeah, well, I told you a little bit about my background. We're talking, um, we're talking a Masonic background. but my father was not physically abusive, but mentally, yes. Mentally very, very abusive. Um, and we were abducted quite frequently. He and I would both get nosebleeds. I think I probably have his negative blood. Um, RH negative blood. So they were an older couple when they had me. A lot of people were always dying. People were always dying in the family and out of their friends. And as a child, there were a lot of funerals. And I guess at some point I decided it was kind of scary. And I guess I decided that I would make friends with death. Maybe then it would be gentle with me. That's not exactly the way I thought. And I also, from an early age, as soon as I found out that there were ways to escape your body without dying, I was down for that. I was trying to do that all the time. And I did manage to get out of my body on occasions, not as much as I'd like to. Back then, I mean, I just didn't like being in a body. And a lot of starseed don't like being in a body. They just don't like it. They have really this ambivalence towards the body. So I uh, I decided to make friends with death and look into dark subjects and study some of it and look into it and just I liked horror shows and creepy stuff and also the paranormal, of course, and saw every horror show and tested myself with them. How much of that could I stand, just like everybody else? And that was so much garbage in. But yeah, that I had, and I guess that the whole idea is you dive into the heart of darkness and come back. Yeah. Are here to experience everything. The Earth trip is um, the Earth trip is about opposites. It's about um, polarity. So, well, Scotty, some of the places I lived, um, New Orleans has so much underground stuff going on. And here, even this town has so much underground stuff going on. There's a lot of underground stuff. So, yeah, it's part of the balance. So now I've discovered that I like this where I am now much better. And this is really more what I'm down for. I am not really interested in all that stuff anymore. It's really gone by the wayside, and yet I do have an awareness of it as I really used to love that stuff. It's like an addict who was talking about, I really used to love that stuff. And I came very close to drinking blood, but I didn't do it. I came very close to having a donor and taking the full plunge, but I didn't do it. And I'm glad now because I would be somehow having to undo that. Yeah, like I said, for a while I hung out with a darker crowd. Were they killing people? No, they weren't. But some of them had very alternative lifestyles. And they were kind of sucking me down that path. But it didn't happen. Right. I'm here now. Now, that is not to say I will only tell you this much that by accident, it never occurred to me I was involved when I was maybe 16 in what was most likely a blood ritual. I think it was probably a blood ritual. And did not realize that what I was doing at the time would have long range ramifications. How can humans that have been so hoodwinked, that have been so oppressed and basically mind controlled, how could they really understand the ramifications of some of this stuff? Right. Yes. Well, you see, Scotty, it was a close one. And yes, there was a time, like I said, when I was about 16, did not realize the significance of it. Um, but my partner had a wound, and it was just like love play. And of course, he was a narcissist, of course he was. And I think probably that's where the bit, like I said, they want to consume you. Um, the lizard types, they want to consume you. Um, without, like I said, without going into detail. And I didn't think much of it. It was almost like a joke. So, yeah. So, I've been there. I have been into the heart of darkness and have come out, and have come out wiser. Did I ever have any intention of harming anyone? No, not really. Never did. Never had any intention of harming anyone. And if I would have had a donor, I would have treated them very well. Not everybody does. Um, so not everybody does that though. Not all, and not all donors want to be treated well. Some of them want to be abused. They like it. So there are people who want to be submissive. There are people who want to be hurt. They want like pain. They're masochists. And there are people who want to be consumed. And so this has taken a dark turn, but y'all brought it up. And I'm just going to be honest with you. This exists in the world. If you get too deep into it, is it really, really hard to come out? Yeah, I'm sure it is. I fortunately, like I said, never took that step. So it was maybe easier for me. Some people, I don't know. But was I afraid of them? No. Hi, Woo Train Rider, DG. Absinthe. Boy, I'd like to try absinthe one day. Hey, I hope you do too, Woo Train Rider. Um, the whole thing about actually, you want to know what things are like a bit, of course, in a very overblown way. You want to watch something like True Blood. It was kind of a melodrama and kind of a parody in a way of some things that actually really happened. And so if you want to know what's really going on, what vampires are more like, you you might want to see that show. That it's a series from back, I guess, in the beginning of the century or something. Hmm. Ron DeSantis dropped out of the race and endorsed Trump. That's right, I saw that. So did Ramaswamy. Gonna try some next store trip where what? Oh, absinthe. Yeah. It's made from wormwood. Yeah, some people really know how to hate themselves. Yep, yep. Oh, and Nikki Haley is a Democrat shill. That's another thing. There are all these people turning, getting registered as Democrats, switching parties to vote for Nikki Haley as Republican. She's a shill. You know what? There's got to be some kind of fraud or something in that. Very weird. I mean, Nikki Haley, I don't trust her as far as I could throw her anyway. But yeah, we were thinking of making some, dude. You know, you can make that stuff like you can make mead. It's made with wormwood. You can find wormwood right out in the grass there. We found some right out in the backyard, love. We tried smoking it. It's kind of interesting to smoke it. Not sure whether it was a good thing or not to smoke it, but it is a vermifuge. If you take it, it'll kill parasites. One of the things about BDSM, I will tell you, the masochists, a lot of them want that release of endorphin. It's like everybody else, they're looking for some way to kill the pain. If they have a big enough release of endorphin, it kills all the pain. And that means in their head too. So a lot of them are looking for that shot of endorphin. So just to let you know, it's not what you think it is. That whole scene is not what people think it is about exactly. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of it is orchestrated by the reptiles. That, yep, that's one of the ways that they really get a hold on people. Oh, so it's okay to smoke. Yeah, we didn't have any problem with it. It was kind of interesting. Yep. Yeah, basically, I think 50 Shades of Grey, it's about somebody and how dumb is she in that story? Somebody brought this up. They're saying she's college. I I live in a college town. She's what, a college graduate? She's that golly gosh dumb? How? I mean, college, you run into a lot of stuff in college. I don't know. I guess it's possible. Hmm. Scotty, I got a question. Have you been trying to call me from California ever? Because I get these weird calls from California and my phone tells me it's potential spam. Have you ever tried to call me? Ketamine, yeah, I haven't tried ketamine. I don't know what ketamine's like, but I hear that some people find it very healing. It's like everything else. Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey is basically the groomer novel, you know. It's a novel about this perverted old rich white dude who is grooming a young girl for a sex slave. That's pretty much what it is. What the whole book is about. That's what it boils down to in a sense. So, do I want to read it? No. Actually, this is really funny. If you've never seen this, George Takei actually read excerpts from that book. It was one of the most hilarious things I have ever seen, and I don't know how he did it with a straight face. I do not know how George Takei actually read this, and you realize George Takei is gay, right? So he called it 50 Shades of Takei. Oh, oh God. You some of you gonna split yourself laughing if you hear it, if you can find that. Grey's Anatomy, all that gray, yeah. Yeah, all of that gray stuff. The Grey's Anatomy, the Dick Grayson's the sidekick of Batman, Lord Greystoke. Um, what's up with that gray? Right? Oh, the dark stuff with the Sasquatch dream. Well, maybe maybe there's some kind of zeitgeist going on right now, and we have to talk about dark stuff. I mean, we've been talking a lot of light stuff. We've been talking a lot of light. I've been literally doing light language. I've been literally doing star language. And maybe for balance, we have to talk about the dark a little bit. Jean Grey, that's right, from X-Men. Alex Grey, who is a really notable artist, one of my favorite artists. And, interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And Jean Grey, and it's interesting because she's Storm, right? And somebody, I knew somebody who used to call me Storm. That's what they used to call me. They said, "You're some version of Jean Grey." Why? Because they could see. It was weird. The Mayan teacher, he saw the lightning bolts, he saw the storm, he saw the weather connection there somehow. And some of my other friends saw the connection with the weather, the storm. So yeah, one of them, he said, "No, you're some version of Storm, Jean Grey." And I'm like, "Really? Did you ever date a Jean Genie, Scotty?" Ah, aha, they were two different characters. Oh, okay. They were two different who was two different characters? See, I don't remember. It's like somebody said, yeah, uh, I always got related somehow. And back then I didn't understand why I'm related to the weather. Why are people relating me to the, lightning bolts and stuff? It's like, oh, Gene and Storm. Okay. Good, Lewis. Maybe you can. Well, then he was screwed up. Oh, you're a magnet for crazy chicks. Oh, yeah. Well, then who was Jean Grey? What did Jean Grey do? I can't remember what she did. You know what? I'm bad now. There was a time when I knew all that stuff. I used to read comic books like a fiend. Yeah, when I was growing up, I read comic books like a fiend. I loved comic books. I had big stacks of them, which of course Dad sold at a yard sale and for like $1.50. And these days they'd be worth thousands. I'm gonna have to look that up, who these two are. But anyway, yeah, he said something about oh, maybe that was two different people. That might have been two different guys that said that. Then one of them said that I reminded him of Jean Grey, and the other might have said Storm. Then, and I'm just kind of slamming them together in my head. But anyway, Yeah, medical, that's right. With PK, right. Um, well, the whole thing about ketamine, um, now let me see, what was his name? And actually, Dave, here we go with David has a part in that again too. Um, the guy that was playing in play, his play, his Broadway play. I'm trying to think of what his name is, but he played Dexter. Okay. He has a band. That guy has a band. And he has a video about ketamine. And he and his wife took a ketamine trip together. And the whole song is about he's having wonderful memories from his childhood building sandcastles, and she's in some kind of hell. They had exactly polar opposite trips. She had a really horrific trip, and he had a very blissful one. So I guess ketamine can go either way. Yes, can be used as a sedative and is very addictive. I can't imagine some of the people real what in. So, what is his name? Ah, 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 I'm eccentric. That's what I say. I'm eccentric, not crazy. I'm merely eccentric. I'm not crazy. Now, if you want to see crazy, I could do crazy, but you don't want to see crazy. You really don't. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can. Ketamine. There it is. Right. It's called Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum. Yep, that's the name of it. That's all about ketamine. Him and his wife, who played in his show Dexter, by the way, both took a ketamine trip together, and um, I guess this video had a lot to do with it, with had a lot to do with that experience. Um, hmm. Yeah, Princess Goes to Hollywood is the name of the band. Michael C. Hall is his name. Yeah, David knew him real well. He was the star of David's show. David's in every darn thing. Yeah. I'm building castles on the beach and you're tearing out your heart. Sounds like a Be careful with that shit. Well, Dexter was all about a serial killer. That's not what his sane brain. I never know. When I have these open discussions, my God, it can go anywhere. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, a used straitjacket. What is going on in here? What is? Yeah, I feel like that Florida guy. What? Thinking of trying tripping with mushrooms. Would you make a nice pair? Now, what are you doing in here? You guys do it in the chat. Yeah. Ah. Wow. Yeah, when I open it up, you guys is just wow. We're way off the hook. Okay. Oh my gosh. You know what? Of course. Under doctor's supervision. Yes, of course. You know what? I'm just going to let you guys talk about it then. You go ahead and have your discussion. I'm going to put on a video and I'll be back. I'll take a bio break and I'll come back and read it and see what you guys have to say. I'll put on my little movie that I'm working on. I would put in the updated version, but it just won't let me upload it. So here we go. And I'll be back. There he is, Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Important Cat. I'm waiting for Mom to come back. Well, not really waiting so much as just enjoying himself. My little furry friend. Whoops. What happened here? My phone is doing weird shit. Okay. Of course it is. No, I just had Yep. You see two cats? What? You saw two cats? Lewis, please let me know. Free, free, set them free. Okay. Oh dear. What's the thing behind Cowboy? Now let's see. What are you seeing? This or the pillow? There's a blanket. And then there's Mr. Cowboy right here with his big fluffy white belly that he's very happy to have rubbed anytime. He'll turn that belly up just about any time and get a belly rub. This is a pillow. And that's my shoe rack over there. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but if you see a second kitty, maybe there is. Maui, who's the one that's gone, who's the one that ascended. Literally, I saw her ascend. She's all white. I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't around. Sometimes she visits. Oh, it's a toy cat. I see. Okay. You really had me going there for a minute. Okay. On the basket. Yeah, that's the clothes hamper. It's a toy kitty cat and it meows and stuff. Let me see if I can reach it. But don't be worried. Don't worry, Cowboy. We're not going to usurp the kitty. We're not going to usurp the main character in this show, which is my cowboy kitty. Just because we have the other kitty here. See if I can reach her. Don't get nervous. See if she has any battery left. This girl right here. See if she has any battery. This is a real old toy. There she is. I wonder what Cowboy is going to do. And she meows when you pet her. Furs. And there you go. Oh, there she goes. She's raising her butt up, getting ready to hiss. If you scratch her the wrong way, she'll hiss. See? Mm-hmm. It can sense where you're petting her. And as long as you're petting her like up here, she's okay. You start petting her back here, she puts her butt up in the air. This is Cowboy is now very interested in this girl. He says, "What is that? My date?" I'm gonna have to do a video with Cowboy reacting to that cat. I haven't turned her little switch in a while. She hasn't had her switch flipped in a while. Oh, come on, Scotty. I'm always showing you that on this show. What? Oh my God. No, it's not real cat fur. Okay. Well, no, I didn't. I never do that. Yeah, pretty white kitty cake, kitty cat. So anyway, I am probably going to be doing, well, I think tomorrow is probably card not reading night because we do it the Monday, moon day closest to the full and the new moons. And so I think the next full moon is like the 25th. And so that Monday, I counted this Monday is probably the closest one to the full moon. So, oh, gee, that's too bad, Scotty, because I'm a very big fan of cats. To me, they're like one of the finest creatures. They've certainly helped me in my voyage quite a lot. They're very intuitive. They'll let you know if something's going on in the spirit world. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I get along with them so well. Yeah, well, Yeah, it's one of the things that really I've just found. I love kitties and doggies, and I even I've had other pets. I've had lots of different kinds of pets, scaly and feathery and furry and all that. I haven't had the creepy crawlers kind though. Well, no, I did. I did have a pet spider, wolf spider, a brown wolf spider. He was a wild one, but he liked me. I didn't kill him. My mother did though, unfortunately. But I put him out. I kept putting him out and he kept finding his way back in. And he liked me. He would sit and look at me in his little spidery way. I have to tell you, so I was over at my mom's house. I couldn't have any pets. And so I couldn't have a familiar come to me either. But I was having these very weird spider dreams. I was having these very weird dreams. And I realized after a while that they were at a different angle. I was seeing the house, walking around the house, but at a very much different angle in my dream. And one day I woke up from one of those dreams and was looking right into the face of that spider. And I'm like, because in the dream I was looking at my own face, which really startled me. And I woke up and the spider was looking into my face from the floor, just staring at me. And I'm like, have I been piggybacking on this spider walking around in my dreams? In this spider? Seeing from his point of view, what's going on here? I think I was desperate to have a pet, but I couldn't have pets there. So the spider was kind of a fill in. And so I tried to put him out because I knew my mom would kill him. And every time I put him out, he'd come back. And I'd have more dreams like that, very strange dreams. And one day I had a dream that there was this great big glass, my mother and this great big glass that this great big glass was coming at me. And she had killed the spider with a glass, I think. I saw her kill the spider from the spider's point of view. That was another really weird thing that happened to me, man. And I knew that she'd killed it. And she said, when I got home, she said, "Oh, you will never guess what happened. I killed this great big brown spider. Great big spider. You're probably glad about that." And it's like, no, I wasn't glad about it because actually I kind of had made a pet out of him. He wasn't hurting anybody. He's probably looking for me. I was gone. I was over at a friend's place. I was gone. He's probably wondering where I was, kind of missing me. I'm not a spider fan either. I would not go and have a spider as a pet. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want that. I never wanted a tarantula, never wanted a spider as a pet, but somehow it happened. I don't understand it. Like I said, I had all of these very weird things that I was trying to piece it together. For the longest time, I didn't know what the hell was going on with me. But I sure enough, there was some connection between me and that spider. I don't understand it. Mary wins. Hey, hi, Mary. Yeah, I know how that is. It's like sometimes I look for Max, and YouTube keeps hiding us. Yeah, it's almost like start looking for me around 8:30, 9 o'clock. You'll see if you go to my I try to get notices out on my community tab. Maybe if you go to the bell and click and unclick and then click it again. But I try to get notices out on my community tab when I'm at a different time. A self-cleaning oven. Self-cleaning ovum? Yeah, somehow the spider just chose me to be my little familiar, because I guess I needed one and I couldn't have one any other way. It was very interesting what I saw in that spider suit. But that tells me that really it's an Avi. I mean, yeah, why was I seeing from, I still haven't gotten all these questions answered. Why was I walking around inside of a spider while I was asleep? I still don't entirely get it. I probably have, it's probably one of my medicines because, I had a brown recluse bite and didn't die of it, right in my abdomen. It was one of my near death things was from a brown recluse bite. Quite often your totem animal will injure you to test you. Like my Mayan teacher, Tisak, he got bit by a tiger. Your totem animal will usually do something to you, or your teacher animal. So yeah, there was some things I guess I was learning from Spider. Um, but overm sounds better, but underm doesn't sound good at all. Oh my God, Scotty. Walking in a spider web. Sorry, I'm not home now. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not home right now. Walking in a spider web. Leave a message and I'll call you back. You got bit by one too, huh? You're lucky. Because some people die of it. And some people, like there was one woman who ended up going into a coma for a while. And I heard tell of another woman who has fainting spells ever after. So brown recluse bites can really F you up. Yep, somehow I was in the spider. You were also bit by a recluse. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. Hmm. I was bit on the abdomen, left a figure eight shaped scar on my abdomen for a long time. I make a joke that it was lucky that I had a little bit of extra fat there. Probably saved me a lot of trouble. Why is sexual talking deemed taboo? I don't know. It upsets some people. You know, well, the thing about, yeah, and you almost bit the dust, yeah. And the thing is I didn't know what it was until afterwards. If I had known what it was, I'd be afraid. Would have been terrified. But I was too focused on what I was doing, and I just treated it like a regular wound. But I felt like I had the worst flu I had ever had and holed up in the house for like 3, 4 days. But then later I found if you're still alive after the 4th day, you're gonna live. But I just thought I had a terrible, terrible some kind of flu or something. But yeah, it ate. And then I'm like trying to figure out why there are these holes in my side. What the heck did I do? It started out just looking like a bruise and 2 little tiny holes, but then it ate these 2 great big holes in my side, and I'm like, how the hell does this happen? Well, it wasn't until later. This was when I was a lot younger. It wasn't until later that I saw a show about the brown recluse. It was public service talking about the brown recluse, and it's like, oh my God, you know, what the wound looked like, what the effects were, and blah, blah, blah. And I did some research, and it's like, absolutely. I encountered it in a barn where my stuff was stored, and I was going through my stuff when I got bit. And it didn't feel like very much at a time, but a pinch. But oh boy, did it turn into a great big wound. And I didn't go to the hospital, of course, because I don't. I just don't do that. You know, unless I got a broken leg and I need it splinted because I can't splint my own leg very well. Or I have something, a gash big enough to actually go, this isn't big enough. Really, some people would go for this, but that would. Right, yeah, if it's too close to your heart, it's really bad. Um, we have them. They don't acknowledge that we have them up here, but we do. In the summer, it gets warm enough. And we also have their cousin, which is called a hobo spider, just slightly less deadly, but more able to withstand the cold. And yeah, the centipedes can hurt you. Yeah, I am so lucky I got bit in the abdomen. Like I said, I think the fat layer slowed it down, slowed the poison down so that it didn't get very much into my bloodstream. So I was really blessed that way. Not that it was a fun thing at all. I know. Oh, my friend Brenda, she got bit on her foot. She thought she was going to lose her toe. She was afraid she was going to lose her toe. Boy, Scotty, you could never date a girl with a nut allergy, could you? Anyway, but bum. Did you see what I did there? Okay, so now we're in brown recluse bites. And um, what a spider as a familiar's like. Usually I have a cat or a dog, but I've had a snake. I had a little snake. Um, She liked to curl up in my hair and tickle my ears. Very sweet little girl. She liked to lay on my shoulders. Then there was Cornelius, who was a corn snake who liked to lay on my shoulders and we'd go dancing. He liked to dance. Cornelius liked to dance. Anyway, yeah, I can imagine. Well, the chat has become unrepeatable totally again. Well, it doesn't really bother me much. It's just that YouTube has rules and a lot of places have rules, I guess. But yeah, YouTube has its rules. I won't get into too much. I won't repeat much of this, but let's just say that Scotty's definitely bringing the X-rated stuff in here. You mean measles or mumps? Well, I got, I'm surprised they didn't shorten it or didn't correct that to Muppet. Mumps. You know what we did in the old days? What my parents did? Measles and mumps. They had you play with kids that had it. You'd go over, you'd all play together. Then you'd come down with it and you'd have it. Then you would have immunity after you were better. That's how they did it in the old days. Why? Because when you're a kid, you can survive it. If you're a healthy kid, you're going to survive the measles and mumps. It's going to be annoying, nasty. You're going to survive it. But it's going to give you immunity so that when you get older, if you encounter it, you're not going to have a you're not going to have a problem. I mean, that stuff can really do a number on you if you have it when you're older. So being immune to it, immunized, naturally immunized, was one of the best things that parents could do for their children back then. And that's what they did. They would have kids play together so that they could all get measles and mumps and get it out of the way and have a natural immunity to it for the rest of their lives, which worked great. It was kind of in the short run, kind of a pain in the ass, but in the long run, it worked. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Dolly. That's exactly what they were. Oh yeah, so and so has a kid. Go play with them. But they would get them all together over at one house. The neighborhood kids all play together with the kids that had it. They'd all get it at the same time. Then they'd all get over it. Yep. And then we were all immunized and we didn't have to worry for the rest of our lives. Yep. Before the second grade, yeah, if you could. Before second grade is best time. Yep. Because they'll get over it. I mean, it's extremely rare. I don't even know what the percentage rate would be of a healthy child not being able to get over measles and mumps. It's to us, they were just common childhood illnesses. You'd get a cold. At some point, you'd get the measles or the mumps. Sometimes you'd get tonsillitis. It was just standard. You'd get the flu sometimes. The flu you couldn't stop, but you could stop measles and mumps. You only had that once. Probably. Well, usually in a neighborhood, people would know each other and they would know. I mean, it wasn't like today. Usually back then, people knew each other more. I mean, they had front porches, and we had a front porch, and your neighbors would walk around and visit you on the front porch in the summer and the warm weather. And, you know, that was where you'd entertain folks, be out on the front porch. Was the main social area in the warm weather when it was warm enough. Chicken pox, chicken pox, chicken pox. Boy, autocorrect. Your autocorrect fairy is really high tonight, isn't it, Scotty? Isn't she? That little autocorrect fairy has really been smoking some tonight. She cannot get chicken pox. She cannot get it right. What you been doing that you got your autocorrect so high tonight, Scotty, that you can't? I haven't understood half of what you're typing anyway. It's all getting otter corrected, which means I think it was getting spell checked by an otter. They're not really good typists. They're not great with English either. Oh, mono. Mono. Yeah, I was a stereo kind of girl. Right, kitten? Yep. Cowboy says, whatever you say, Mom, I wasn't there. Humans do weird shit all the time, don't we? Humans do weird stuff all the time. Okay, the bouncy screen. It's a bouncy screen. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of bouncy too. It's a gooseneck. That's why sometimes time flies. Well, that's what I hear. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. It's math. Moth you excel at. 2 plus 2 equals 48. Scotty, pardon me, but I'm not going to have you doing my books, okay? Okay. What, cowboy? Okay, baby. Well, mm, um, they have those keyboard covers. Okay, well, you know, I've been on for 2 hours, and I'm thinking of making an early night of it tonight and having a longer night tomorrow, because 2 + 2 = 5. I just realized this. Something about the chat just doesn't add up. I'm thinking of making an early night of it because I got shit to do tomorrow. I got stuff to do. And then tomorrow be on a little longer, be on earlier so I can be on a little longer. And then let's see, that's Monday. Then Wednesday. Yeah, Monday is going to be cards, and Wednesday is going to be, I don't know right now. There's stuff. Oh, Scotty, I know. It's so confusing. Math is so confusing. Meow! What? What do you need, baby? Boy, you can be a real Karen sometimes, complaining to the management. What's wrong, baby? What's your general dysfunction, Mr. Cake, or are you just announcing your presence to everybody so the people don't get disappointed? I'm here. Why am I not being petted? My wonderful presence is here. Meow. You lost your flipping cursor, and we know cursor is a very important part. I don't know what the fuck I'd do without my cursor. Do you have to make up for lost time and actually get some work done tomorrow? Yeah, I have to get some work done tomorrow too. He wants attention. He wants belly rubs and loves, and he wants to cuddle up in bed and get, because he gets his head rubbed and his belly rubbed, and he gets love from mommy, and he's like wanting that. He's like, Mom, how long do I have to wait? He's such a lover. Your mom hates cats. Gee, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't understand why people hate cats. I just don't get it. They just must not know them very well. They must not have grown up with cats or don't understand them or something, because cats are way cool. I mean, cats, do you know that they tell you to have an outdoor cat? Now, this is what I heard recently. In Florida, if you don't want to be bothered by most varmints down there, varmints, that's a clampet term. That's a country term for, you know, creatures. They will scare away, I guess they will scare away alligators and crocodiles, and um, they'll also scare away rats and mice and even coyotes. I mean, cats will take on snakes and win. Cats will take on snakes. Cats will take on crocs and win. And alligators, they'll win. And they most of the time, I expect there's a couple times they might lose if they're kind of slow. But cats are very fast, and reptiles wear out. So what the cat does is wear them out. Cats eat lizards. They kill them and eat them. So you're actually a guard cat. You actually need a guard cat down there. It helps to have a guard cat. Yeah. He's like, Mom, it's belly rub time. Aren't you done yet? I'm waiting. I'm trying to be patient. He's so patient with me, but humans are so hard to train. I told you I'm a rooster. As a matter of fact, I'm a firecock. Chinese astrology. Have you forgotten, Scotty? I'm a fire rooster. Used to, yeah, upset people by saying, yeah, I'm a cock. People are like, what? Rooster. Chinese astrology. Oh, you have ghost kitties? Yeah, me too. Yes, please do. You're all trying. Show you in all its glory. It's a little swollen. Not too bad, a little bit red. I gotta put some more stuff on it. And both fingers. There you go. See if you can get rid of this freaking gelatinous cyst too. I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't like them. They scare me. Isn't that weird? I am more afraid of modern medicine than I am of most diseases and injuries and maladies. I know, but I'm still alive at 66 and I don't have half the shit that a lot of people have. Louis Ty, you're a rabbit. Oh, rabbit transit. I have ghost kitties. They come and visit me sometimes. My cats. They usually do after they pass. They come back and let me know they're okay. Sometimes they visit. Like I said, Maui, where she is now, is actually an all white cat, like that toy. Oh, yeah, dish soap. That's right. Just wash some dishes in Dawn or something. Well, I have silver cream and I have peroxide. Peroxide is actually good for so many things. I mean, my mother always used peroxide. It didn't hurt, cleaned out a wound. Oh, you were born in the year 69. Okay, now it all makes sense, right? Now it all makes sense. Okay, like I said, I got to get up tomorrow. I am fading fast. I didn't have like a big dinner or anything tonight. I just had sort of a snack, and I'm I don't want to eat before I go to bed, but if I stay up, I'm going to be hungry. I better get my ass to bed and just right. Maui was my cat. Yeah, Maui was my cat before uh, Cowboy. And I got to see her turn into Rainbow Light and go through the rainbow portal home. That was very special. How often do you get to see that? I have been gifted many, many wonderful and amazing experiences, and I'm very thankful for that. I've been shown amazing things. I'm very I'm very thankful for that. Right. Love you. See you tomorrow. And we'll be doing cards. And then after that, more discussion and more different stuff, all kinds of different stuff. Okay. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Oh, remember, you are divine. Your creator. So dream well and dream big. And I'll see you tomorrow.